S from CC Hills, Illinois, is the hadith where the Prophet said, لو كنت امرأة what is it? لغيرت وفرتك بالحنة. Proof that henna can be worn in front of non-mahrams.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Question regarding wearing henna in front of non-mahrams. Is that mentioned hadith a proof that it can be worn in front of non-mahrams? Henna should not be worn in front of non-mahrams unless it's covered up. Whereas henna, in most cases, for a woman, is going to be a means of adornment. It's going to be a beautification. Some people may wear henna for medicinal purposes, but in most cases, a woman, she gets the motives or this type of ornament or this type of design, and it's floral. It's nice. It looks nice. It means of attraction. And the rule is, if that something is a piece of attraction, it is not to be enjoyed by non-mahram men. It's just that simple. Wallahu alam. Fadal.
Can a man have a henna tattoo?
Question is regarding a man having a henna tattoo. Obviously, tattoos are haram in Islam. For sure, permanent tattoos, for reasons that we've explained. Okay, the women of Kalinga did a khutbah on that. We talk about the philosophy and the psychology of tattoos and the impermissibility of a tattoo. The question is now, can a man have a henna tattoo? One may say, it's not permanent, so it's not taghyiru khalqillah. You're not changing the creation of Allah. You're not changing the creation of Allah like trimming your hair. It's not like you're doing something to change Allah's natural way. You're just adjusting it. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it, somebody may say it's still haram. And that's because you're imitating kuffar and getting a tattoo. And you're also imitating women and using henna for ornamental purposes. Wallahu alam.
This was AB from Brooklyn, New York.
Let alone what that may lead to. It may lead to you getting a real tattoo. You may like it so much. Oh, it's fading away. It's going away. Or you may get the same tattoo again, and it may leave some type of what? Impression on your skin. The color, that's nice. I like that Grim Reaper. The snake coming out the skull and the snub magnum, right? The 38 special gun. People get different types of tattoos, right? Or Allahu Alam, what people may have on their body under their thobes. Who knows? You see what I'm saying to you? At the end of the day, it may lead you to get an actual what? Tattoo. Or somebody may see you and they may think that it's a real tattoo, and then they what? Follow you in that and get a real tattoo. So there's a facet that can come from that. Wallahu alam, naam?
This was AB from Brooklyn, New York. If a woman is praying by herself, does she call the adhan and the iqamah before praying an obligatory salah?
Question is from Brooklyn. With regards to a woman praying by herself, does she make the adhan and the iqamah before making the obligatory salah? This issue is based off of other issues. And those other issues are, does a man have to make the adhan and the iqamah when he's making an obligatory salah if he's praying by himself? And if he doesn't have to make the adhan and the iqamah, should he make the adhan and the iqamah if he's praying what? By himself. And the women, and the ruling of women doing this is going to be a branch of that. At the end of the day, in brief, some of the ulama of Islam, they say that a woman should not make the adhan. And that the adhan is a means, or it's a duty of the men. Her raising her voice. And also the concept of that type of leadership and authority in the religion is specific to a man. You understand this? So many of the ulama say. And others, they say, they use certain narrations of some of the Sahaba and the Salaf. Inni la anha an dhikrillah. That's the dhikr of Allah. How can I tell a Muslim not to do it? If she's in a place in which the adhan is not a means of non-mahram men hearing her voice, her raise her voice in an unbefitting manner, says nothing wrong with it. وَلَعَلَّ هَذَا هُوَ الْأَقْرَبُ. Perhaps that's the closest view. Wallahu alam.
This was AB from Tangier, Morocco. Love you for the sake of Allah, how can one completely change his akhlaq and stop being annoying, especially in speech? Also, not having an abnormal short temper.
Tight. Question is from Tangier, Morocco, with regards to changing one's character and stop being annoying. Stop being obnoxious. Mukhtar, avoiding being an obnoxious, annoying person. Some people in some cultures may call it what? A jerk. In some cultures, they may say this. And how to have an abnormally, or how to change an abnormally short temper. Type. May Allah Azza wa Jal love you for you loving us for His sake. Ahabbaka alladhi ahbabtana fi ameen. Jazakallahu khairan. May Allah unite us upon the truth in this life and in hereafter. Ameen. And if it's not destined for us to meet in the United States or Morocco or some other place, then we ask Allah to unite us in paradise. Ameen. How to stop being annoying? I would say try to limit your speech. Learn how to talk less, how to listen more, observe more, feel more, think more, and talk less. That's the first step. And my advice to anyone who's trying to change their character is to realize that certain things can be changed and many other things cannot. Certain things can be changed and other things can't be changed. Certain things just the way you are. But you have to learn how to put it in the boundaries. You gotta learn how to put it in a vessel. You gotta learn how to polish it, how to round off the corners. But in general, if you're a talkative person or a quiet person or you're a flamboyant person or a shy and meek person, that's how you are in general. And it's not always, sometimes, but it's not always Islamic to try to change who you are. And sometimes the shaitan can trick you like that. And you can spend a lot of time and energy on something that you really don't have the ability to do. So sometimes it's best to just hone it down. You like dressing nice, so dress nice according to the sunnah. You like talking a lot, so learn ilmin, talk about the sunnah. You like to show off your muscles, and you like the fact that you're strong, physically strong, you're brolic. Alhamdulillah, be a bodyguard for the Muslims. Protect the Muslims. Fight in Allah's cause. And you shouldn't necessarily try to tone it down and turn into, a poet or a book scholar. You're born with muscles. Not saying that someone's muscles is dumb. I'm not saying that. But obviously, people with certain talents, oftentimes it's rare to be two extremes at one. That's the stereotype. Big, tough guy, big muscle-bound type of person versus some skinny, scrawny guy with thick bifocals on who's a book machine. In most cases, that's how it is. A woman that you marry for beauty, not saying it's always like this, but oftentimes she's not that religious. Or she really doesn't have a good personality or a strong personality, or she may not even be that smart. And a woman has a real good personality who's really religious, oftentimes is not, she's far from being a beauty queen. I mean, this is a reality of life. Not all the time, but oftentimes. So at the end of the day, trying to change who you are is not necessarily the wisest thing. Adjusting it and augmenting it, certain things have to be changed, as we said. I think the first step, try this out, don't overburden yourself, is try to minimize your speech and try to calculate your words. All right? If you want to read about that, then please go back to the book of the explanation of the hadith of istiqamah. Ibn Rajab, it's on the website, HadithDisciple, book we translated some years ago. And we put in the end of the book, the speech, beautiful speech of Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah, regarding the tongue and the istiqamah of the tongue. And the steps that you should make regarding your tongue. Speaking after you think about it. And once you think about it, weigh it out. If what I'm saying, is it beneficial? Is it necessary to be said? And is it something that I can say that's even more beneficial? So on and so forth. That's my piece of advice with regards to that. As far as the anger problems and having an abnormally short temper, then I would say you have to reconnect yourself with Allah. And realize that Allah is Al-Aziz. Allah is Al-Qawi. Allah is Al-Kabir. Allah is Al-Muta'al. Allah is Al-Mutakabbir. Al-Jabbar. These are attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. And you manifesting anger and snapping on people all of the time, abnormally short temper, is oftentimes a manifestation that you have pride in your heart. And that you think that you're tough or bigger or greater than someone, you can do harm to them. So reflect on your weakness and reflect on Allah's greatness. Wa alaikum salam. So reflect on your weakness and reflect on Allah's greatness. Reflect on your weakness and Allah's strength. And also reflect on the bad effects of anger and how psychologists and people who deal with psychiatric issues, they say that one of the worst emotions to not have thorough control of is anger. That's the most damaging emotion. Lust, greed, cowardice, all those other problems. But they say anger is the chief cardinal sin of character flaw. And that's because anger is destructive. And you may think that you're making someone afraid of you. You may think that you're putting your foot down. You may think that you're getting results. But oftentimes when you get angry and you lose your temper like that, you're just showing the people around you that you're extremely weak. And anger is a manifestation that you don't have control of the situation. You don't have power over the situation. That's why you got to act out like that. And a truly powerful person doesn't have to have that rage like that. He says something, and if you don't do it, okay, no problem. Have a great day. You'll see the consequences of it later on without me having to what? Explode. All right? Not saying that anger doesn't have its place, because anger, and that's another thing that people, they go extreme in and saying get rid of all of your anger, have no anger. That's not true. It's an emotion that's there for a reason. And rage is there for a reason. All the emotions have their what? Their proper place, but with balance. And the most important concept of the emotion is for you to have what? Control over it. You understand this? And that's why the Prophet ﷺ says, الَّذِي يَمْلِكُ نَفْسَهُ إِنَّ الْغَضَبِ. He who controls himself at the time of anger. And you don't just let it out like that. Okay? So anger, oftentimes you have to look how evil anger is and how ugly it is, and how you spaz out is not really changing nothing. People look at you as being weak, emotionally insecure. You don't have control over yourself. Oh, he's tripping again, hollering again. And they get used to it. And no one takes you serious. And you may say something or do something in a state of anger that you can't take back. You're sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but the words came out already. They injured the person. You call the person to this. You get in an argument. Oh, I didn't mean to say that about a guy and these people. I really don't believe that about him. It was just, it's done. You said it. Mufti doesn't like Guyanese people. He said it. Even though everyone saw that he was what? He was angry. But where did that word come from? How did he even say that? And you can't change that later on. So anger is destructive. General emotional instability is what? Destructive. It's ruinous. It's ruinous. That's why we're commanded to control our emotions and seek Allah's help in controlling them. And Allah surely knows best. Fadda.
Initials OO from London, UK. Assalamu alaikum. How does one stay consistent, punctual, and protect their 5 obligatory prayers? May Allah grant you Jannah for those without reckoning.
The question is from London. How does one stay consistent and punctual with their 5 daily prayers, so on and so forth? May Allah bless you. Ameen. Jazakallah khairan. If you're from London, you live in the United Kingdom, I would say go to some of the museums in London. Maybe you should go to Buckingham Palace. Maybe you should visit some of the royalty there and see how many jewels and gems they have. And see the size of some of those diamonds that the Queen has and on those crowns the size of an egg. You know, you understand how big that is? A diamond the size of an egg, a chicken egg, an ostrich egg, a pigeon egg. It's a huge rock. You know how much money a small little diamond costs us, a pure diamond? Let alone a diamond what? Like this, a chunk. Where they came from this country and this empire and this colony and so on and so on and so forth. They have those jewels there, right? And the UK, especially England, has a lot of those jewels. And there are many people who fight and say you have to give the jewel back. It's not fair. We want our independence. And of course, we know what they're saying. You can kick rocks. The jewel is here and it's what? It's staying in the UK. You're not getting this diamond back. It was a gift given to the Queen by your leader when you were a part of the British Empire. So go and visit those places. Look at those diamonds. Look at those rubies. Look at those emeralds. And try to grab it. Try to steal it. Try to get really close to it. Try to take certain pictures when you're not allowed to take pictures and watch what will what happen to you. The security is intense. The glass, the cameras, the guards, the lasers, everything is high, let alone certain jewels you can't even see. Why is it such high security, such strong security? Why is it so tough to get so close to the thing, let alone grab it, let alone take it and walk out the place with it? Why is that? Because the diamond and the jewel is extremely valuable. And something that's extremely valuable is never ever treated recklessly or irresponsibly. It is never neglected. It is never overlooked. It's more than enough for there to be one camera, but there are 10 cameras in the museum now. 10 guards in the museum. Everyone understand this? And that's because that thing is so what? So valuable. And mistakes cannot be made. So think about your prayer. Think about the gems and the jewels of the Salah. Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr, Dhuhr, the Jama'ah, your Islam, your deen. Allah making you a Muslim and you're not a Sikh or a Hindu or Buddhist or an atheist. But Allah chose you to be a Muslim. Think how precious that is. Why would you squander it? And how would you play around and be laxed and be, oh, it's no big deal? Would the person with a diamond have that attitude with a diamond? Of course not. They would preserve it what? To the utmost. Because it's so what? That's my advice with regards to those prayers.
I get you.
What did he say?
I get you.
Inshallah, we'll stop here. Allah surely knows best. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.